All right, what did you do on the trip?
Okay, well, while we were on the Czech trip, we worked with an organization called Josiah Venture that does evangelistic summer camps, summer English camps for Czech high school students. And we went into public high schools and taught English lessons and promoted the camp for them. And then we also hung out with youth groups of churches and students from those schools outside of the schools also.
Could you explain where you went?
Where we went? We went to the Czech Republic. You want to know more about the Czech Republic?
Sure.
It's a post-communist country that's really atheistic, where a lot of their beliefs revolve around science and what science can prove instead of, what should I say? It's very developed. Like, I thought it would be kind of like Ukraine. I had been there before, and it was much higher standard of living, a lot more like America.
All right. How did you see God work?
How did I see God work? I see God work in the fact that we were able to accomplish most of the reason that we went there. I saw the church leaders, especially the youth group leaders, very encouraged, because when we invited kids to come out to the churches, they responded to that and they came. That was definitely the Lord working that I saw, and we got to have some cool conversations with some kids. There was one girl that I got to share some of my testimony with, and then in the past few weeks, and talking to her on Facebook, I found out that she has been spending time with the youth pastor. So I'm seeing the Lord work in that, and I'm sure He's working in lots of other ways too that we can't see or haven't heard about.
Mm-hmm. What did God do in your own life?
In my own life, well, I hope to do ministry in Europe at some time in the future. So for me, it was affirming of that calling and giving. It was a time of like dreaming and casting vision for that time, and also just developing the relationships with the people. And my team was very encouraging to me spiritually.
Is there anything else you would like to share about the trip?
Can you think of something I should say? Something funny?
You almost burned a police stone?
Well, there's this one time when we spent a night in Germany, and we ate at this Indian restaurant, and in the course of the evening, one of the guys accidentally was holding a napkin over a candle and started a fire, and then in the course of trying to put the fire out, I accidentally lit a second napkin on fire. So we had this like seriously legit fire going on in the middle of the table, and we were kind of worried, but we eventually put it out and didn't burn down the Indian restaurant, so that's good.
Just say, so what else? You felt that there was something else important you needed to say?
Yeah, one of the things that stuck out to me, I know that we went over this when we were in youth ministry class, Intro to Youth Ministry, but something that came up again on this trip was just the statistics of youth in the world and youth ministry workers in the world. The statistic, I believe, is that 95% of trained youth workers do ministry in the United States, and that 95% of the world's youth are outside of the United States. So there's this tremendous need. Our leader, Tim Downey, said that when he left his position in the U.S., there were like 300 applicants for his job. There's like 300 jobs in Europe with no trained applicants for them. So just thinking about the idea that if it's on your mind or on your scope to possibly do ministry in Europe or outside of the U.S., like, you should totally pursue that, because the Lord desperately needs people to do ministry in other parts of the world.